I am so far behind on this, and I'm sorry. Life has been kind of crazy. So I'm going to try to do double duty from here on out, and I think we'll make it to day 30 on day 30. Anyway, so this is day 19, I believe, and this is a big one, okay? So sin attempts to justify disobedience. What Jesus says, wisdom is justified of all of her children. You're always going to find some excuse for yourself, okay? And so the example from this in the Old Testament is King Saul. Okay, so God wanted to use Saul as a means of judgment on a wicked nation. The Bible tells us that back in Moses' day, that the Amalekites, a group of people, had ambushed the children of Israel. And God said, write this down. I'm going to remember this, and one day I'm going to visit these people and I'm going to judge them. And so we fast forward to the book of 1 Samuel, and now is the time. God says their iniquity is full. I'm done. You know, they've pushed me to the last limit, and we're going to take care of them. And so God commands King Saul to go and just annihilate the nation. I mean, don't leave anything alive, completely wipe them from the face of the earth because their wickedness had become so great before the Lord. Well, when Samuel, the prophet of the Lord, goes to visit Saul after these things are supposed to have happened, he hears the bleating of sheep, and he recognizes that some things weren't in order. And so he asks Saul, what's the deal here? I thought that God commanded you to go and to take care of business, and what have you done? And so Saul begins to say, well, I thought that we could, sacrifice some of these things as a thanksgiving unto the Lord. And, I even kept the king as, kept him alive because this is just a display of how great our God is. And he found convenient excuses for his disobedience. And what Saul says, or what Samuel rather says to Saul is very pointed, okay? He says, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. God doesn't want your justifications on why you think what you're doing is right. He wants you to submit to Him because He knows best. Because if you fast forward to this, you'll see way down the road a descendant of the king Agag is causing trouble for Israel. It is better to just obey.